Mary Jordan is an artist and filmmaker who'd been working on an ethnographic documentary in southern Ethiopia when she came down with a life-threatening waterborne disease. With no access to modern hospitals or clinics, she was nursed back to health through the kindness of a young village girl. As Mary recovered and prepared to leave, she was confronted by an unusual request.
I tried to give this girl anything. Like I said, do you want my jewelry, my camera? And she wouldn't take anything. She just basically said, go back to your country and do something, anything about water.
Back home in New York City, Mary's life returned to her usual routine. But as the months passed, she was unable to let go of the memory of the Ethiopian girl's compassion and the promise she'd made.
One day I was just walking, I was in Brooklyn at the time, and I looked up and I saw, the water tower, and I thought, what are those used for? I started to look into it, and then I just thought, why not wrap them with artwork or messages and, try to use art to viscerally affect people on the global water issue.
What seemed to be a simple idea quickly exploded into a mammoth project, requiring hundreds of donors and dozens of volunteers.
Every 22 seconds, a child dies from waterborne disease. And every hour that we stand here, 250 million plastic bottles are wasted, and only about 18% are recycled. One of these water tanks holds the same amount of water that an African family can live off for 5.5 years. That's how much water one New Yorker wastes in a year.
In addition to recruiting some of the world's foremost artists to her project, Mary was faced with the question of how best to wrap up to 100 New York water tanks in a way that satisfied the aesthetic needs of the artist, while meeting her own requirement for an environmentally responsible solution.
I spent about 3 months researching all signage materials. And one day we were doing some test prints with some various media, and we came up with this HP product, their latex inks and their media that printed phenomenally. And for me, it was most important that it met these environmental standards because, of course, we would be scrutinized. I can tell you that this was by far the most sustainable solution that we came across, and that's why we chose HP and their media products. Once we get an artwork and it's ready to print, we're so keen to put it up, and it's all about how quickly we can move it, and no other product dried right out of the machine like that. And it was great for us because we could just roll it up, fold it up, and move and install immediately. And this saved us an incredible amount of headaches. The ability to print with such high quality in a water-based situation is really outstanding. Outstanding.
The piece is called Current, and it's about the type of energy that's a clash of color and pattern. That piece is, I don't know how many hundreds or thousands of yards away, and I'm seeing the image. So it's got to have some kind of sharpness and clarity for you to see it at that distance.
This is kind of a rock that creates a ripple, and everyone that sort of becomes a part of that ripple is affected. And, if we manage to transform their consciousness and their ideas on water, then we've done our work, and we will continue to create more ripples.